About the AFC South. So I think.
There's a history in this league of
That's
an example.
So
didn't want to
finish
make him
this.
the subject.
For those who believe, for those who are ready.
You have no idea what song
I have no idea what song it is.
It's a hot song right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Doug Siravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends, Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We are back virtually. Last week, we were at Molly's Public House, so that was a fun show. We talked almost every sport, baseball, some football, some hockey, some NBA. So we're back. We're back virtually for now. And today we're going to discuss some college basketball. The Final Four is here. On the men's side, you got all number one seeds. You've got Auburn taking on Florida. And then you've got Houston taking on Duke. So those should be good games.
Is there games on tonight, or is it or Saturday?
I think they're Saturday.
Okay.
And then Saturday and Monday.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But yeah, I've been in multiple brackets. In the one group I'm in that costs money, I need Houston to win. So I'm hoping Houston pulls it off. Because
Houston going all the, I'm surprised you have UConn.
No one else has Houston for that pool. So if Houston wins that one on the men's side, I win that tournament. I win that bracket. I win that group. So I need
against Duke because Duke plays really well.
I need Houston to pull it out. And then another bracket I'm in, I have Florida over Kentucky, but I have no chance of winning it because a lot of people have Duke. I don't have enough points to secure that, even if Florida wins.
Yeah. So, you're far behind. So.
Yeah, I'm far behind. And then in ours is already over, so I owe Jimbo another drink.
Well, because you went with,
I picked
Michigan State.
I picked Michigan State. I don't know, I just thought they had a good chance to win. I didn't think they were close.
Auburn was always proving how good they were this year, so that's why I was like, Auburn could walk away with that whole division. I was contemplating on with St. John's and Florida, and I should have went with Florida. Because I didn't expect St. John's to be out the second round.
Yeah, I think that was a surprise to a lot of people. I think a lot of people were shocked when they ultimately fell because a lot of people had them going to the Final Four, the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I had them going all the way to the Final Four, but then losing to Auburn.
Yeah, I think in one of mine I had them in the Final Four or the Elite Eight. I know I had them going far.
Auburn versus St. John, and then I had Duke versus Houston. Then I had Auburn versus Duke in the finals.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that all number one seeds advanced to the Final Four. I think some years you have that surprise team, but I think all the number one seeds were dominant throughout the year, and they're dominant in the March Madness.
Yeah. I mean, especially, look at Duke. Duke's been blowing people out. And not just,
every game.
But especially, there was only 2 quarters to play. They beat, I forgot who, I think it was Kentucky. They beat them 100-88.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 100 points in 2 quarters. That's
Duke blew them away.
Yeah.
I think Alabama, they won by 20.
Yeah. And Alabama's a good team, too.
Yeah, Alabama's a phenomenal team.
Yeah, I just think they need a year or so
Mm-hmm.
to get to produce productive and be better.
Yeah, this year there wasn't really that many bracket busters. I mean, you had one here and there, but not like a big surprise because I look at the brackets, I look at the group I'm in with my old coworkers at the pizza place.
Yeah.
Matt has 3 out of 4 finalists, so a lot of people went with the number one seeds. You had a few that went with some upsets, but this year there weren't a lot.
Yeah, they weren't, and that's kind of kudos to those teams that are playing very well, and no one what they're playing for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the 1 year. I think this is gonna be a good Final Four. I don't know. I don't know who's going to advance. I don't know who's going to win. So that's the exciting part of this. Like if you have a 1 seed versus like a 11 seed, it would be like, okay, this one is over. We know who's going to win.
Yeah.
So I think this one's great. I think it's great to have all number 1 seeds.
Yeah, because this one you have number 1, so it could go either way.
Mm-hmm. We don't know. Honestly, I don't know who the favorite will be. I think Florida has a good chance of winning, but Auburn is a very good team.
Yeah. And then other side, you have Duke that's been playing phenomenal, and Houston that's been like always there.
Yeah, and I think
they never went away.
I think Houston is due to win a national championship, especially where they've been the last few years. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is their time to win it all, which is why I picked them in one of my brackets.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Duke is the better team. They outplay everyone. They outsmart everyone. So I think I have to go with Duke to win this as much as I don't want them to, just because of my brackets, and I really don't like Duke. Mm-hmm. But Duke is a great team. They truly are. They're not surprising anyone. They're just outplaying everybody. Like I said, they're blowing people out. It's not like it's a close game by a buzzer beater.
No, they legit are beating people left and right.
Yeah, especially against Alabama, who was a good number 2 seed.
Yeah, but yeah, especially and they're doing the same thing. They're like a couple close games, and there was like blowouts, and like they showed they could definitely be there. It's just Duke was just better.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially, I think Duke's going to be good for a while because of that freshman center.
Yeah, I think Cooper Flag, right?
Cooper Flag, yep.
Cooper Flag.
Like he came out of nowhere, and
he's been dominating.
He's becoming a star.
Mm-hmm. And I think he missed a game or two, right?
Maybe, I don't think so.
I know he was out. I don't know how long, but I know he was out.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't think he was like bad and everything. Like I think he's perfectly fine there.
Yeah, so Duke's gonna be a threat for many years to come, as they've always been.
I think so. Well, no, the last couple of years, no, they haven't. They haven't been really much of a threat.
No, well, they've been there, but not like a team that you're scared to play.
Yeah, I think this year's team is scared to play.
That's why they dominated almost every team. So I can't really see Duke. I can't see them losing to Houston, honestly. I think Duke is going to win that side of the Final Four. And the other side, I think Florida has a good chance. Yeah. But I won't be surprised if Auburn pulls it off.
I know, I agree with you too on that. But we'll see. Only time will tell, honestly.
Yeah, time will tell. So for me, I got Duke winning that. I think I could sense you have Duke winning that.
I mean, I have Duke in my bracket, so I mean, I can't say no.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the same way. I have 3 of the 4 all in.
Yeah. See, what I should have done is done one bracket for everything, just why I'm still alive. See, ours, I didn't think you guys were serious and was going to join, so I screwed around a little bit. I said, hey, let's put Drake in the Final Four, and next thing you know, Dougie owes Jimmy a drink.
Yes, sir.
Like I have been.
Yeah, you have been.
But yeah, I think Florida will come out on top. I like that guy Clayton. I think he's a great player. So I think it's going to be Duke versus Florida. And honestly, I think Duke takes it. As much as I would like to see Florida win another title, just like the glory days with Joakim Noah, Corey Brewer, they're due for one too. But yeah, I think I'm going with Duke. I can't deny how good they've been.
Yeah, Duke's been really well.
Yeah, so we both got Duke. Let's just put it that way. We can't disagree there. But we can disagree on this next segment.
What's this one?
We're looking at the women's side now. You got South Carolina versus Texas and UCLA versus UConn. I'm going with UConn to win the whole thing.
I don't know. I think, what was the first team again you said?
South Carolina, who everyone's saying is probably going to win it.
South Carolina's looking really good, though. They're looking really, really good.
I don't know. I just feel like that UConn team with Paige, Bueckers, Sarah Strong, they have a great... Like, you can't take away the coaching that Gino Amanera has been doing the last 20 years or so. This team, you look at other teams, they go through coaches upon coaches. Not so much like Duke, they went with Mike Krzyzewski, and now they have another coach. I'm not sure his name exactly. But a lot of these programs that have seen a lot of success within national championships, Big Ten championships, Big East championships, they have one coach. So I think that says a lot about their success, but you can't take away the talent and the greatness from Paige Bueckers.
No, you can because you like the meat writer.
No, I don't, but I just think she's great. Like, when you look at Paige Bueckers and you compare her to Caitlin Clark, which a lot of people like to do, specifically my co-host right there, is, yes, I'm not taking anything away from Caitlin Clark. I think she's a great scorer, but that's all she is. She's a scorer. Paige Bueckers makes everyone else around her better. She can pass the ball. She can shoot the ball. She can force a turnover. I think that's the difference for me, is that she's a great overall player. The same thing can be said about the LeBron-Michael Jordan debate. For me, I think LeBron is the better overall player. You see, like, this is where I'm trying to get with her. I don't take anything away from Caitlin Clark, but I just think she's just a scorer, a great scorer, and nothing else.
So her triple doubles mean nothing that she had over there.
I never said that it means nothing.
No. It's not easy to say it specifically, but that's what you're saying. She's just a shooter.
Yes.
No. Have you seen her in it? She changed the whole WNBA.
Yeah, she changed the whole WNBA, but her Iowa team was also bad. Connecticut has Sarah Strong, a great, talented freshman.
Yeah, but that's nothing to do with her or anything. Like, she carried that Iowa team all last year or the year before ever. Last year's bracket, March Madness. Excuse me.
Yeah.
She carried that team to the final.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that.
Like, I don't think if you put Paige Bueckers on that team last year, I don't think she does that.
If you put Paige on
Iowa?
Iowa?
No. I don't think she does that.
No, I think Iowa would win the whole thing because they would have two great players.
No, mine is Clark. If you take Clark out of Iowa,
If you take Clark off of Iowa,
and you put Paige in there instead, just her,
I think they'll be good.
I don't. But they would have been. They would have not.
Iowa's still a good team,
but they never would have got to. Have you seen the numbers that she put up compared to her teammates last year? She was putting up double numbers.
So what that says is she's the team.
Yes, and I don't think Paige would beat that.
But I don't think Paige needs to. I mean, Paige gives all the credit to her teammates.
Yeah, she needs to rely on her team.
I think UConn would still be better with or without Paige.
All right, but Iowa would not be better without Caitlin Clark.
No, they wouldn't.
Is that?
But that just shows the type of player she is. She's just a scorer.
No, but we're comparing the two. Clark is
She's
better,
a scorer.
But she could take a shitty team, just like LeBron. We want to put that right there. Could take a shitty team, get him to the finals.
Absolutely, because he's the better overall player.
Yeah. So all right. So
whatever team Michael Jordan was on, the Bulls, I think they were like 93, 94, whatever year it was. When he retired, the Bulls still won 50-plus games. Whereas LeBron...
No, they went down, actually. They didn't win 50-plus games. They went down.
No, they won like 47 or 50. They were still a good team when Jordan retired.
But they couldn't do anything, though.
No, they didn't win anything. But with LeBron, if we're getting on that subject, when LeBron left teams, like when he left the Cavaliers, they went from 60 wins to 19 wins.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Paige Bueckers could make everyone else around her better. She just doesn't have to.
If she left UConn, that team still be fine without her.
I think a little bit because they have a good freshman in Sarah Strong.
So you can't. So you're comparing, like, if we're gonna do the.
But I'm talking about overall.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark's better. If we're gonna say overall, Caitlin Clark's better.
I don't know. I just think Caitlin Clark is a good scorer.
In every category.
I think she's a good scorer.
She's leading in most every category besides, like, whatever rebounds and everything in the NCAA.
I get that, but the way
she leads in UConn history Nothing about NCAA.
No, I get that, but when we look at Caitlin Clark, the way I look at it is she's on a bad team. So I don't think that makes you great.
It kind of does when you could legit
When you
take a team all the way to the finals.
I get that, but then if you have to rely on one player, what does that say about the rest of you?
Also, too, she beat the team that beat her a year before, LSU, by herself. With Angel Reese, with the great dead center they had over there and everything, and whoever else.
I know.
So I don't think Paige could do that.
I disagree.
I think because she's on a great UConn team that has very good role players and everything. That's why she succeeded.
I disagree. We'll see what happens. She declared for the WNBA, so we'll see how her first year is.
We'll see last year.
And then we can have the same conversation a year later.
Yeah, but we'll see where she goes because I don't know. Is she going 1 overall, you think, or no?
I got to look at the mock draft. I would not be surprised if she does, but I got to double check the mock draft.
I mean, I don't know because I'm hearing other names that are supposed to be really good as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players in this year's draft class.
What would you do if she actually went to the Fever?
And plays with Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, the ratings would be tremendous. I think they would get great ratings. I think she's a great player. I think they could collaborate, her and Caitlin. Yeah. But I just don't think that Caitlin Clark is a big impact. Like, I just feel like, you know how I feel about Caitlin Clark. I don't have to get into it.
I know, but you're out of your mind saying she doesn't make an impact.
She does.
You just said no, she doesn't.
She does, but not that big, because when she was on Iowa, she had the whole team relied on her.
Yeah, and when she went to WNBA, the whole cap changed.
Yeah, the whole team changed. The organization changed. I get that. Players do that, but from a stat-wise, I don't think so.
She's a better shooter. She's a way better shooter. She's a better passer. She can rebound better.
I get that. I get that.
She's got 3 or 4 triple-doubles in a WNBA. You know how hard that is?
No, I get that. But that's like taking a bad quarterback, putting him on a bad team. All right, Joe Burrow. You make the argument that the only reason why he put up those numbers is because his defense sucked.
That's the main reason why.
So you can't say that the only reason why Caitlin Clark had the numbers she did was because she had to put the team on her back because they had no one else?
She had to put a team on her back.
So how does that make them great? How does that make her great?
Because if she is putting all the points up and everything and dragging a team all the way to the finals, just her specifically, then what's that tell you?
So how is Joe Burrow an overrated quarterback?
I never said overrated. I said the team's overrated, not him.
All right, maybe I misheard you.
Yes, the team's overrated, not him. He is a very good quarterback. It's just he's not going to be successful because of that defense. That's why. That defense got worse. All the draft that you're going to do this year for the Bengals are going to go specifically into defense.
As they should.
But they're not going to be ready and develop in that time. They're not going to be. They're gonna struggle a lot, especially when Baltimore got better with the offense.
Yeah.
Receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Browns, I don't know. Question mark. Steelers just need a quarterback. They'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Other teams you gotta play. You gotta play. I think the Colts that has a good offense.
Yeah, they got better.
You gotta play the Lions, the Vikings, the Bears, and the Packers. All good offense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna have to put up like 50 points a game.
So if Caitlin Clark was on a good team, a solid team with other talented players around her, do you think her numbers would be as good? Because I think they would fall a little bit.
I think they'll be average. Because don't forget, too, when we had this argument last year with Dave, you and I.
Yeah, I remember. It went on for 2 hours.
That if Caitlin Clark doesn't put up the numbers that she should, and it was like if she had to average at least like 15 a game, guess what? She was averaging 19 a game on that team.
Mm-hmm.
That actually had role players. So she can do that. We already seen that.
No, I know, but I don't know.
There's no argument. She is right now the better player. If we're
The
comparing
way
her to Paige, she's the better player.
the way I look at players is a lot different than the way you look at players.
What's that?
I don't know. I feel like if you're the only star on that team and you have these high stats, I think it's overrated. I think it's overrated to look at the stats because
No,
if
because if the
because you're
stats-
doing all the work. Realistically, you're doing all the work on a bad team.
Yeah, but then when you transfer that into a good team, like Paige is really good. Don't get me wrong. But if we're gonna compare apples to apples, she's she's way behind Kellen Clark. Let's take the team. Let's take the team out of it. Let's take the team out of it. Let's go player to player. Kellen Clark's a better player.
I'm taking Paige.
She's a better. No, you're taking Paige because you like her a lot. That's why.
No, I also think she's better.
You post about her every single time on Facebook and Instagram.
But I
Don't
just
play
think
that
she's.
game.
I'm not
Don't-
playing no game. I'm not playing no game. First of all, I'm not playing no game. Don't put words in my mouth. I
No,
just
it's
think
not
she's
words in
better
your mouth.
overall. I think.
That's not words in your mouth. There's evidence on the IG. If you go look at Doug's Instagram, I guarantee you'll find a whole thing about Paige Bueckers and everything.
And UConn.
But mostly specifically about Paige.
All right. I don't know. I just like the way I look at it, it's like a goal scorer. Let's say you score 50 goals for a team,
Okay.
and the second guy happens to have 17. That just show would you still consider yourself a great goal scorer, or just say you're scoring all these goals because no one else on your team can score?
Both. Both. You are the most productive person on your team. Why am I not going to think I'm the better player? Unless somebody else comes in and actually could compete with me and put the same numbers, nothing said.
Oh, that's how I look at it.
If Clark had another person last year that could compare their numbers with her, then I think we'll have a discussion of them too. But also, that's not what it is. Clark specifically dragged her team to the finals, and I don't think a lot of people can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people can. So for her to do that last year, especially even when she was in WNBA, she made it her first year, made it to the playoffs. While that team sucked
Yeah.
the year before, and even before they were playing bad.
Mm-hmm.
So her going there changed the whole dynamic of the WNBA. I don't think even Paige going there is going to change as much. Maybe
It depends where she goes to.
It does depend, but I don't think it changes as much revenue as Clark did. Clark changed the whole.
Yeah, I'm not
of
disagreeing
the
with you. I'm not disagreeing with you because Indiana played some of their games elsewhere for more seats.
Yeah, they had to because they knew Clark was going to be a big
People
ticket.
people want to watch Clark, but I just have my own evaluation on how you describe players to be great and elite.
Well, like we said with LeBron, LeBron took teams that were shitty, so he's not elite.
No, he is, but I think
It's
that's
still something that's
but that's why I think he's better than Jordan. Whereas Jordan doesn't make a big impact. Realistically, he had great players around him.
Yeah, no,
Jordan had Scottie Pippen.
If we're
Jordan
gonna
had
say-
Dennis Rodman.
If we're gonna say that, I would probably put Bill Russell up there. Honestly, the man won 11 champions out of 13. Come on.
I know, but I get that. But that's why you can't bring in the rings as that argument. You have to look at everything from the stats to who did he play with, who did he play against.
But also two different eras.
I understand that whole argument, but
Like Jordan played in the most physical era
no, I get that.
compared to LeBron playing in this cupcake area.
I know.
So if we're gonna want to get same with football, is the older players gonna be better than these new players now? It depends.
No, because the quarterback position changed completely.
Yeah, and so did the defense. Now the NFL is more predicated on the offense than the defense, if you think about it. So those older gentlemen that played in the past, you brought them in their prime and put them on the field. They're going to be flagged every second, every down. They're going to be flagged.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to put their mitts on you and throw you to the ground so you can't even do anything while your quarterback's getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really. You can make the comparison between Jordan and LeBron stat wise, but it's people are going to say Jordan because of what he did in those three-peats. No other team has done a three-peat like that besides the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq. To go back to back to back.
No, I get that, but
So I mean, that's the hardest thing you could ever do.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know. LeBron and Jordan are definitely 1A and 1B for me, honestly.
Yeah, I think you could make that case.
I think because Jordan has the rings, he has the champions, he has the MVPs, he has whatever, and he has the record for the best, the team, like the best team record. But I mean, not no more because I forgot Golden State beat it, but also they won a championship. Golden State didn't. But then LeBron, it's his longevity, his stats he's putting up, and everything else. No one ever thought that 40,000 would be eclipsed. And then LeBron came in and said, "Oh, I'm good. I'll take that."
Yeah, that was LeBron.
Yeah.
So when it's all said and done, who are we going with? Are we going with South Carolina? Are we going with UCLA, UConn, Texas?
I mean, you're going with a UConn.
Yeah, we know I'm going with UConn.
I'm going to go with South Carolina. I think they're playing better.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And that's tomorrow night in Tampa Bay. The men's are in San Antonio. So next week we're going to look at some Major League Baseball, what's going on around Major League Baseball. Atlanta is 0-7. We will also do our Stanley Cup playoff predictions as the season is winding down. Talk some NBA too.
Yeah, 'cause
And then,
they're both soon.
yeah, they're close. Less than a week away from the playoffs.
Yep.
And then the 17th will be a pre-recorded episode, so we'll get that to you out there in 2 weeks. The 24th, the NFL draft, we will be giving our last mock draft, and we'll be previewing the NFL draft, which happens later that night. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great conversation, great show. So we have much more to get to next week. We'll see everybody then.